I didn't think you'd mind if he came on the trip too, she said about her male best friend. I said, you're right. Bringing friends sounds great, and transferred her ticket to my female friend. Took her to Greece instead. My ex found out at the airport when her ticket didn't exist. I was already on the plane. Hey viewers, before we move on to the video, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button if you want to see more stories like this. Thanks. All names in this story have been changed to protect privacy, and some minor details altered for anonymity. This is a throwaway account for obvious reasons. Don't want any real-life drama spilling over. A bit of background. I'm Alex, 29, a marketing consultant in a mid-sized city. I've always been the steady type, reliable job, saving for the future, not into drama. About 3 years ago, I met Sarah at a mutual friend's party. She was 25, full of energy, aspiring to be an influencer. She had that spark, posting about lifestyle stuff, travel dreams, motivational quotes. I fell hard. She wasn't making much money yet, so I stepped up. I paid for her photography gear, helped edit her videos late at night after my own long days. Hell, I even covered rent a few times when her gigs fell through. I thought that's what partners do, support each other. But looking back, it was always one-sided. I'd plan date nights, surprise her with little things like her favorite coffee, or listen for hours about her creative blocks. In return, she'd flake on my stuff. Like when I had a big presentation at work and was stressed out of my mind. She bailed on our dinner to network at some event. Or the time my grandfather passed away. I needed her, but she said she had a content deadline and couldn't come to the funeral. I brushed it off, told myself she was building her brand, that it'd pay off for us both someday. Then there was Mike, her best friend from college. They'd known each other forever, and at first, I didn't think much of it. He was always around, group hangs, her stories about their inside jokes. But over time, it got weird. She'd light up when he texted, spend weekends catching up with him while I was home alone. I'd see her posts, selfies with him at cafes, captions like, soul connections never fade, #besties. I'd ask about it casually, and she'd roll her eyes. Alex, don't be that guy. Mike's like a brother. You're my boyfriend. Act like it. I trusted her, or at least convinced myself I did. But deep down, it ate at me. Why did every conversation circle back to how funny Mike was, or how he got her in ways I apparently didn't? I'd sacrificed weekends working overtime to fund her dreams, and here she was, emotionally checking out with this dude. The real kicker came when I planned our anniversary trip to Greece. I'd been saving for months. Romantic getaway, just us. Beaches, ruins, sunsets. I booked everything. Flights, a cozy hotel in a beach town, even a private boat tour. Told her over a nice dinner I made at home. She seemed excited at first, but then her vibe shifted. She'd glance at her phone, smile at messages I knew were from Mike. I tried to ignore it, focused on us. But inside, I was starting to question everything. Was I just the safe bet? The guy who paid the bills while she chased thrills elsewhere? It hurt, man. I'd given up trips with my own friends, turned down job offers that meant travel, all to build something stable with her. And for what? To feel like a placeholder? I sat with that confusion for weeks leading up to the trip, packing her suitcase with her, acting normal, but my mind racing. Why was I always the one compromising? The silence in my head was deafening, nights staring at the ceiling, replaying her dismissive laughs. I didn't confront her yet, I just observed. And that's when the betrayal really crystallized. The build-up to the trip was tense, but I kept my cool. Sarah started dropping hints about Mike more blatantly. One evening, we're chilling on the couch, scrolling through travel pics, and she says out of nowhere, Mike's been so down lately. Breakup drama or something. I nodded, not biting, but she kept going. He's always wanted to see Greece. The history stuff, he's obsessed. I felt my stomach twist. Was this leading where I thought? A few days later, over breakfast, pancakes I whipped up, trying to keep things light, she hit me with it. We're talking about the itinerary, and she casually drops. Hey, I didn't think you'd mind if Mike came on the trip too. He's going through a rough patch, and it'd be fun to have a third wheel for some adventures. Three's company, right? We can split costs, or whatever. I paused, fork midway to my mouth, staring at her. She was smirking, like this was no big deal, scrolling her phone as she said it. Wait, what? I asked, keeping my voice even. This is our anniversary trip. Romantic, just us. Why bring Mike? She looked up, eyes narrowing like I was the unreasonable one. Oh, come on, Alex. Don't be insecure. Mike's my best friend, practically family. If you really love me, you'd understand I can't just abandon him when he's hurting. It's not like we're eloping or something. It's a vacation. Plus, he can take great photos for my content. Win-win. I pushed back gently. Sarah, I've planned this for months. Funded it all. If it's about friends, why not invite someone else? And honestly, your friendship with Mike feels off. The late-night texts, the constant hangouts. Is there something I should know? She laughed, actually laughed, dismissive and smug. God, you're so paranoid. Mike and I, we've been friends forever. Yeah, we kissed once back in college, but that's ancient history. It means nothing. You're twisting this because you're jealous. He treats me like an equal, gets my humor, pushes me to be creative. You're comfortable, safe. But if you can't handle my friendships, maybe we're not as compatible as I thought. I deserve freedom, Alex. Trust me or don't, but don't ruin this trip over your issues. Her words stung, twisting the knife. Excuses piled on. It's not cheating if it's emotional support. You're too possessive. Real partners give space. Hypocrisy dripped from every sentence. She'd flip if I suggested bringing a female friend. But her logic was all about her needs, her deserves. I sat there, absorbing it, feeling the unfairness sink in. All my sacrifices, overtime hours, emotional bandwidth, reduced to comfortable. I was her backup, the reliable guy while Mike got the excitement. I didn't yell or beg. Instead, I said calmly, "You're right. Bringing friends sounds great." She smiled, thinking she'd won, and went back to her phone, probably texting him. But inside, something snapped. Not anger, clarity. This wasn't love, it was manipulation. I'd been emotionally abandoned, disrespected, made to feel like second best. Why fight for someone who saw me as a stepping stone? That night, alone in the guest room, she'd claimed the bed for editing space. I let the confusion wash over me. Replayed the red flags, her public posts gushing about Mike, comparing our boring dates to their epic adventures. The times she'd cancel on me for him, then gaslight me about it. It hurt, the silence amplifying the betrayal. I wasn't sleeping, just staring at the wall, wondering how I'd let it get this far. But slowly, the vulnerability shifted. I didn't deserve this. Time to detach. The next morning, while she was out running errands, code for meeting Mike, I suspected, I logged into the airline app. Transferred her ticket to Emily, my longtime friend from work, platonic and awesome, who'd always had my back. Emily was single, adventurous, and when I explained the situation briefly, she was game. Screw that, Alex. Let's make it epic. I packed my bags quietly, left a note saying I'd handle the trip details, and headed to the airport early. No confrontation, no outburst. Just walked away with dignity intact. Sarah found out at check-in. Her ticket? Gone. She blew up my phone. Voicemails raging. What the hell, Alex? This is humiliating. How could you do this? But I was already on the plane, phone on airplane mode, heading to Greece with Emily. The betrayal was hers. My response was just reclaiming my peace. The plane ride to Greece was surreal. I sat there, window seat, watching the clouds roll by, Emily next to me chatting about the itinerary. She'd always been a good friend, someone from my office who'd listened to my vents about Sarah without judgment. Platonic, sure, but there was an ease with her that I'd forgotten relationships could have. No drama, no constant comparisons. As the flight attendant handed out drinks, I finally let myself breathe. No more walking on eggshells, wondering if today was the day Sarah would pick Mike over me outright. But detaching wasn't instant. The first few hours in the air, my mind looped back to the betrayal. How had I missed the signs? Flashbacks hit hard. That time I surprised her with tickets to a concert she'd mentioned loving, only for her to invite Mike along last minute, turning it into a group thing. Or when I'd confide in her about work stress, and she'd pivot to how Mike had landed some freelance gig, making me feel small. I'd sacrificed my own social life, turning down invites from buddies to stay home with her, just to be emotionally sidelined. It was unfair, the way she'd manipulated my loyalty into a cage. I sat with that pain, staring at the in-flight map, the distance from home growing. Confusion swirled. Had I been too trusting? Too safe, as she called it? But slowly, in the quiet hum of the engines, it shifted. This wasn't on me. I'd given everything. She'd given excuses. Time to reclaim my life. Landing in Athens, the warmth hit like a reset button. Emily and I grabbed our bags, hopped a ferry to the beach town. White sands, turquoise water, ancient ruins dotting the hills. No rushing to check my phone. I'd blocked Sarah on everything before takeoff. Dignity meant no looking back, no petty explanations. We explored, hiked to a clifftop temple at sunset, the kind of view that makes you feel small in the best way. Shared laughs over fresh seafood, no undercurrent of tension. Emily opened up about her own past heartbreaks, and for the first time in years, I felt seen, not as a provider or a backup, but as me. The silence I dreaded back home turned into peace here. Mornings sipping coffee on the balcony, watching waves crash, I reflected on the red flags I'd ignored. Her smug dismissals, the way she'd twist my concerns into insecurity. It stung, but sitting with it built resolve. I wasn't begging or confronting, I was evolving. By day 3, the trip bloomed into something unexpected. Emily and I bonded deeper. Conversations flowing naturally, no games. A spark ignited during that private boat tour I'd originally booked for Sarah. Sailing along the coast, wind in our hair, we talked dreams, not drama. I realized what real connection felt like. Mutual respect, no one feeling like an afterthought. No outbursts from me, just quiet steps forward. I posted a subtle update online. New account, friends only, a photo of the sea, caption, New Horizons. No tags, no shade, dignity in action. The unfairness lingered in quiet moments. Why did she get to hurt me so casually? But I let it breathe, then let it go. This was my arc rising, from vulnerable placeholder to someone building his own story. Karma didn't take long to swing around, and damn, it hit her square. While Emily and I were unwinding in Greece, exploring hidden coves, trying local wines, turning what was supposed to be a romantic escape into a genuine adventure, Sarah's world started crumbling back home. I didn't stalk her. Mutual friends filled me in later, piecemeal, when they reached out in support. Turns out, after the airport fiasco, she spiraled publicly. Showed up at check-in, ticket invalid, and lost it, screaming at the desk agent, phone in hand trying to call me. Security got involved. She posted a tearful story online. Betrayed and stranded by my so-called boyfriend. Men are trash, #heartbroken. But the hypocrisy? She tagged Mike in it, like he was her knight waiting in the wings. That's when things unraveled for her. Mike, her best friend, saw the opening. He swooped in, consoling her with promises of a makeup trip, on her dime, of course. She confessed her feelings to him. Friends leaked the text later, admitting the emotional affair had been brewing for months. Alex was too boring. You're the spark I need, one message read. But Mike? He was unstable, a serial user. He'd been stringing along multiple women, using Sarah for her budding influencer connections. Once she poured out her heart and funded a quick weekend getaway for them, he ghosted, blocked her mid-conversation, left her in some cheap motel after borrowing cash for gas. She found out he was back with his ex, posting couple pics while she sat alone. The fallout snowballed. Her online rants backfired. Followers called out the double standard. You tried to bring your side guy on his funded trip, then cry victim? Sponsors dropped her. That lifestyle brand she'd been courting ghosted after seeing the drama. Mutual friends, who'd initially defended her, give Sarah space, she's free-spirited, flipped when the full affair text leaked. One buddy messaged me, dude, we had no idea. She's toxic. Her reputation tanked. Isolated from our circle, job prospects dried up. She was an aspiring influencer, but now? Broke, crashing on her sister's couch, scrambling for freelance gigs that paid pennies. The emotional abandonment she'd dished out boomeranged. Mike discarded her like she discarded me. I let it all unfold without interference. Back from Greece, I threw myself into work, landed a promotion, more travel gigs. Emily and I kept things going slow, but it felt right. No rush, just building. Meanwhile, Sarah's desperation ramped up, but the karma felt earned, not vengeful. I'd sat with the betrayal's weight, the confusion of her twisted logic, the silence after her smug breakup words. Now, watching from afar, via those friend updates, the injustice breathed out. She saw me as disposable. Life showed her the same mirror. It wasn't satisfying in a gleeful way, just ironic, complete. Her freedom left her irrelevant, while I thrived. A couple months after Greece, Sarah's attempts to crawl back started small, but escalated fast. At first, it was texts, slipping through because I'd only blocked her socials, not her number yet. Alex, that was a huge misunderstanding. Mike means nothing. It was just friendship. Come home, let's talk. I'd read them, feel a flicker of the old hurt, but no pull to respond. Dignity meant silence. I'd already detached. Then calls, voicemails piling up, her voice shifting from sweet to pleading. Babe, I'm sorry. The airport thing humiliated me, but I get why you did it. I miss us, the stability, the plans. Mike was a mistake. He bailed when things got real. It got desperate quick. She showed up at my apartment one evening, banging on the door while I was inside cooking dinner. I opened it calmly, no emotion. What do you want, Sarah? She pushed past, eyes wild. We need to fix this. I realize now how good you were to me. Paying for everything, supporting my dreams. I took it for granted. Mike used me, ghosted after I spent my savings on that stupid getaway. I'm broke, Alex. Living with my sister, no gigs lining up. Please, take me back. We can start fresh. I stood there, arms crossed. You said you deserved freedom, remember? Emotional support from friends. Why come begging now? She teared up, manipulative as ever. Because I love you. That trip was supposed to be ours, but you ruined it with your pettiness. If you'd just let Mike come, none of this. I cut her off flatly. Your choice is not mine. She got angry then, true colors flashing. You're heartless. After everything, you owe me closure at least. But I just pointed to the door. Goodbye, Sarah. It didn't stop. She roped in her toxic crew. Her sister called next, unpleasant, screeching. You jerk, stranding my sister like that? Real men forgive and provide. Sarah's a mess because of you. Get over your ego and take her back. Mutual friends she'd manipulated hit my inbox too. One wrote, Dude, Sarah's sorry. She's changed. Give her a chance. Life's too short for grudges. Another, more snide. Heard about Greece with Emily? Classy, replacing her so fast. Sarah deserves better than your games. But by then, our circle had shifted. Most sided with me after the leaks, ignoring her pleas. Her attempts turned frantic, daily texts devolving to rants. How dare you ignore me? I'll tell everyone what a controlling asshole you are. Anger boiled over, exposing the hypocrisy. The girl who'd called me possessive now stalked my profiles, commented on old posts before I blocked her fully. I let it all roll off. The emotional middle had taught me patience, sitting with the betrayal's echo, the confusion of her logic. Now, her desperation just confirmed I'd dodged a bullet. No sympathy from me. She'd built this isolation herself. The final nail came at our mutual friend Jake's wedding in Italy, 6 months post-Greece. I'd moved on fully. Promotion at work meant more travel, a new apartment with views, and Emily? We'd gone official, building something real. No manipulations, just mutual growth. The wedding was in a vineyard town, rolling hills, fairy lights, the works. I was there with Emily, mingling, when Sarah showed up uninvited. Crashed via a +1 loophole, I later learned. She looked rough, faded makeup, forced smile, clearly unraveling further. Jobless now, reputation in tatters, isolated after more online blow-ups. She cornered me during cocktail hour, away from the crowd, but still visible. Emily was chatting nearby, giving space, but watching. Sarah grabbed my arm. Alex, please. I see it all now, your posts, the new life. I messed up big. Mike was abusive, unstable. He used me and left me broke. But us? We had potential. Let's start over. You owe me after that stunt, humiliating me at the airport, replacing me with her. Her voice cracked, desperate and hypocritical. I love you. Don't throw it away. I pulled back calmly, mirroring her old logic. You said bringing friends on trips was fine, right? No big deal, just fun. I applied your rules, took Emily instead. Worked out great. She flinched, but I continued, firm and evolved. That betrayal taught me what I don't need. Manipulation, comparisons, emotional abandonment. I've built better now. Work's thriving, peace intact. Emily sees me, values the safe guy you mocked. You're irrelevant to my happiness, Sarah. Doors closed. She begged harder, anger creeping. How can you be so cold? I deserve a second chance. After all, I put up with your boring stability. Hypocrisy peaked, power flipped, the smug dumper now desperate, while I stood tall. Emily approached then, slipping her hand in mine. Everything okay? I introduced them casually. Sarah, meet Emily, my partner. The contrast hit public, guests whispering as Sarah stood alone, humiliated, while we walked to the dance floor, laughing. She slunk away, no more pleas. That was it. Karma complete, ironic, and earned. I don't think about her anymore. Lesson learned, life upgraded. TLDR, she tried to bring her best friend, a fair partner, on our Greece trip. I transferred her ticket to my actual friend instead. She unraveled, begged desperately, but at a wedding, saw my new life and got rejected for good. Moral? Don't betray loyalty. It bites back. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. What do you think about this story? Share it in the comments.